Good morning once again. You are with Valencia Andrews, the Queen of the Airwaves, right here on the Northwest Sun, on a program that is just called Tell the Truth, right here on the Northwest Sun. I'm your host, Valencia Andrews, right here. And of course, today, as we are continuing with our sessions on gender-based violence, we still continue on the gender-based violence. As you are aware that gender-based violence has gone up on a very high rise note, and of course, looking into what is happening, especially during the time of the festives where people are supposed to be sitting down and maybe enjoying each other as families, men and women, children, and everybody supposed to be joining hands together and be able to be loving one another and be in a very good mood. But we find just something of the opposite, of the total opposite of what is happening. And this today, we are going to be focusing on one of the dynamics of gender based violence. And today, out of the box, we are actually having culture as one of the dynamics. We're going to be looking deep into how does culture and tradition come to as far as affecting the issue becoming the dynamics of gender-based violence. Let's maybe look into what do we talking about when we talking about the dynamics. The dynamics, we're talking about the reasons why people stay in an abusive relationship, or maybe rather protecting their abusers. Either way, men protecting husbands, men protecting women, and also either way, women protecting men, and of course staying into the abusive relationships. So we finding last time we actually dealt with the issue of and last time we dealt with the issue of finances, and we also dealt with the issue of the status. So today we are going to look a little bit deeper on the issue of the culture. Maybe if you allow me to make one practical example of culture, we looking at how a man uses the culture as one of the reasons that says to women they don't have to leave, even if they are being abused in a relationship. Let's maybe look into a few examples. You find, if I have to mention some of the other cultures, saying that in daughter, a man is always a man. So the issue where you find that it is said that some cultures, people are being taught that a man will always be a man. You don't have to ask a man where he comes from. You don't have to ask a man why he came late. We don't have to say anything. A man is the only one, is the head of the family, of which is true. Yes, a man is the head of the family, but then we find that statement being abused and actually being abused and being misunderstood and being misused in families. So you find men probably, and probably let's say families as well, misunderstand the whole concept of a man being a man, and then at the end of the day, the whole thing is end up being being misunderstood, and it is just been blown out of proportion, whereby now the statement is now being used to oppress women, to say you don't have to ask anything, you don't have to ask your husband anything, you don't have to ask your partner anything. Where do you come from? What are you doing? how much are you earning, things like that. You don't have to say anything. When you are not happy, you don't even have to open your mouth. So you find other cultures where women are being told that you don't have to say anything to a man. You don't even have to ask him anything. You need to understand that a man is a head and a woman is a woman is a tail or something like that. So that we find a culture being a problem also into many households. When we also looking into what is happening currently, you find the very same statement now being a problem also to most women, where now we find currently women are also working. Women are also waking up in the morning, and they are also are educated as well. So now we find that issue also being very a serious problem, where now it is affecting the households, where now men end up becoming so what can I say? They end up becoming insecure, because now they know that it is said that a man is the head of the family. A man is a provider. And then you find at the end of the day, women, even if they are working as well. So that's, hence I always say, when I teach on gender-based violence, trying to always make sure that we create a balance. So as we strike a balance, we also see women in this issue, where now, because of the fact that it is also said that the Bible also said that a man is a provider, where we also find women saying that even if they are working, women also end up having a tendency of saying, no, my money is my money. My money is my money. My husband is the one who's supposed to work, because now the Bible says, remember, we are still in the issue of the culture. So my money is my money, and now my husband is the one who's working. I use my money to go to do my hair and whatever and whatever. Come month end, the very same woman goes and do as she pleases with her money. She does not even want to do anything inside the house. And at the end of the day, it is now expected from this man to say now that because you are a head, because you are a provider, because you are the one who's supposed to do anything. You are the man. And at the end of the day, you're supposed to be the one taking care of your wife, of which is not a problem. But now you as a woman, you are working, you're doing everything as you want to please. You don't even bring everything on top of the table. And at the end of the day, you come back and expect that this man must do everything. So hence I'm saying we find culture becoming a very, very serious problem when it comes to the issue of violence. And that's why now you find there is a fight inside the household, where now the husband say, but where is your money? But then you say, but you are the head. You're supposed to be the one taking care of the family. So my money is my money, things like that. And also when you ask the men, what did you do with your money? What did you do with the 1, 2, 3? Why did you come late and something like that? Then it becomes a problem, because he tells you that, but you don't have to ask me anything. I'm just here. You must just be happy when you find me. So, of which communication in this issue, please, the communication in this issue must play a very vital role. So it is very important that people need to be told and need to be taught that when the two people are together in a relationship, in a marriage relationship, in any kind of a relationship that goes for two people, so people must be able to understand that communication is of a very serious and a vital role, where when you have to go somewhere, as a partner, as a husband to your wife, you need to be able to let your wife understand where are you going, for safety's sake, not for the mere fact that now you are actually policing that particular somebody. So you need to let your wife know where you're going. Same applies to you as a woman. You need to be able to communicate with your wife, your husband, so that when you are not around, she needs to know where your whereabouts, that something wrong is happening with the kids or whatever. Then she be able to understand, or he be able to understand where to find you. So communication is the key in issues that we find of relationships. So the issue of a culture, it plays a very, very critical role. So it is very, very important that we now learn to make sure that some of the things we unlearn them, that happens to be cultural, that affects the relationship between the two people. It is very, very, very important that we need to understand to communicate either way, so that when your spouse is not home, your family is not home, you know where to find those kind of people in terms of trouble. And of course, I believe that as we are continuing talking on the issue of the culture, of course, also when we looking into the kind of clothing that some of the other cultures are wearing, others believe that no, my wife is not supposed to be wearing a short dress, and the others believe that my wife is not supposed to be wearing a long dress. Others believe that a man is not supposed to be wearing, things like that. You must be wearing a jacket when you come to my house, things like that. And of course, the dress code. Now that you are so you are married, and now you are wearing a short dress and you're getting into visiting whatever, then at the end of the day, your husband or your partner or your spouse end up wanting to assault you because of what the kind of clothing that you are wearing. And sometimes where now you are expected to work hard as a woman, things like that. So I'm just making a small examples of how culture happened to be excuse me, one of the dynamics of domestic violence. And of course, also one of the reason is you find culturally, where you find in other cultures that I'm not going to mention. I believe you will understand as you are tuning in right here on the Northwest Sun on Tell the Truth. You find other cultures believing in marriages where you are having more than multiple women, where you find a man getting married to 3 women, more than 4, more than 5. And at the end of the day, you find violence because now there are also diseases running around. You find violence where now, obviously, when this marriage is starting, obviously it's going to start by cheating. And I understand that the act is silent on cheating, but most unfortunately, we find that whether we like it or not, whether the act is silent on cheating, it is very, very important that we realize that culture where you find most other people getting married to more than one woman. So it starts there. Then there you see a lot of fights happening between the 2 women fighting for this man. So now that is why I am saying you find that in some of the cultures, this is a tradition that is being practiced. It is a tradition that is acceptable, but at the end of the day, it brings more harm than any good. And then you find also even the families, the children, the siblings as well. So it becomes a problem. And others, because they also don't want to find themselves in such kind of relationship, and maybe some women decide to leave, and there are children also involved. So now the children get to be the victims of the circumstances. So it is actually quite a lot that you can find in the issue of the culture. This is just some of the few examples that today we have decided to mention, and of course maybe to just bring into your attention today. And you know, and sometimes you find other cultures getting married to another cultures, like maybe let me say your Coloureds getting married to your Sutus getting married to Zulus getting married to white people, things like that. And at the end of the day, because of the misunderstanding and interlinking of the different cultures, and that's why now also there is a lot of fights going on. So you are still tuning to the Northwest Sun. And of course, I'm your host, Valencia Andrews. Today, we are unpacking the issue of culture. And of course, there's a lot and lots of examples that we can bring into your attention right here. But today, we are going to stop it right here. And I know, and I also believe that as you are going to be tuning in right here on the Northwest Sun, you will be having a lot and lots of other examples coming your way, and a lot of other examples as we are unpacking this issue of the status of the gender, the status of gender, the dynamics of the gender-based violence right here. And of course, I am your host, Valencia Andrews, right here on the Northwest Sun. Tell the Truth is our program. Stay close.